So I'm sharing about what I learned in a Kabbalah class many years ago, and a talk I had with someone, and then a workshop I did called Rethink Love, and then another talk I had about somebody about another topic. So a few different things. Kabbalah means to receive, basically on that theme. When I go through something difficult, that's a chance for the greatest certainty at the deepest level, the most refined underlying awareness of I'm with light. The smallest changes here in this place where it's constricted and it's hard to even let a pinhole of light, like prick it open, affect us and our fear and worry and resultingly massive domino effect, effects, reacting to not knowing what to do, how it will work out. When there's a chance to feel helpless and stuck, we could actually find something that's clear and true and operate from a deep and broad plane, consciously sure it's all good, I'm good, it will all be good. Being in the light at the end of the tunnel, even while in the tunnel, and what's true for the individual is also for the collective. So like my growth expands, adds, and illuminates for the whole group's shiftedness, and my thoughts, words, and actions make a difference, and I can talk to everyone like a godly radiation. There's a limited number of negative words, according to Kabbalah, that we each have. And there's no side of the boat. Making a hole in it sinks everyone. You can't say, oh, well, that's my side of the boat. I could put a hole if I want. We all impact each other, even with our presence, and our vibration affects everything that comes in through our life, into my life, into your life. There's no shortage of time. We can't do, we can do harder. Like, it could take time, but we could do it, and more imperfect things than, rather than the easiest thing, the most familiar that we're drawn to. Like, there's time to get good at it. We could check in with God. What will you have me do? And then we may not know how to do it yet, but there's time. And we can remember we're given exactly as much time as is meant for each of us. I had a talk with Roz about how I'm satisfied with what I got, but I look forward to more. That's a great way to live. We can speak our truth, knowing time is the only natural gift we always have. We don't have to control it. If we make time to meditate and pray, time starts to expand. Time traveling, time black hole, like time traveling where like so much could happen in a short time, and time black holes where so little happened and so much time passed. We can hear what's available as we open. And I'm thinking even just as the Baal Shem Tov, the Baal Shem Tov teaches us, we learn the outsides based on what the motivations and intentions are. We learn how to write our own story. We have a lot to say, a lot's unsaid. We each have something to say, and it'll be in print. In other words, the Baal Shem Tov didn't write things down. His students did. So we have an incubating period, each of us, that can last as long as we need. And even making clothes is giving a gift. To vibe together with someone, it's very special. We bring light. We can find the meaning and the hineni, which is to be here now, with others and see their giftedness too. And this is what it is to have like Jewish eyes, to be, and that's why I brought Baal Shem Tov, because Baal Shem Tov was able to tell us that everything that we see is a version of us. Like, we're seeing ourselves in everything, and that's the 17th century mystical mindset. And Monica Berg, she teaches in Rethink Love. There was a few weeks of workshops. I want love, and that's my birthright, to want love, unconditional love, lasting, powerful, valuing the characteristics manifested in their core self kind of love. Loving the person just because they exist, not need-based. And this is in progress. We lower our expectations because what happened to me or through me doesn't define me. What is causing me to think I'm unworthy of love, whether it's rejection or offense. I was vulnerable when it happened. I don't need to lose the vulnerability, but I can give myself benefit of the doubt and that lets me give others the same also. And letting the other have their own journey, walking their own path, having their own rock bottom, no control, judgment, self-interest. We can start to create love rather than desire it. Being the presence of unconditional love. It's a knowledge. It makes us feel safe, and our failures bring us to purpose. So there could have been many times that we weren't able to have communication, respect, or human dignity, but there's a circle of creativity, which I'll go into in a minute, but like kids need to be nearby. Adults just need to remember it. So in other words, healing and inspiration, fulfillment, nourishment. For a child, it needs to be like very close. And for an adult, it just needs to be remembered that it exists, that there's healing available, inspiration, fulfillment, nourishment. If I need to get it, I know where to get it. For a child, it needs to be offered regularly. We can, and that's why we talk about how children, they're only children when they're children. Each of us really needed that unconditional love when we were a child. To love someone where we see the worst and love anyway. The potential is where they can become who they really are. And how do we break or nurture this circle of creativity? There's a calling, there's creation, there's formation, there's making, and then there's reflexivity. So the pejorative, critical or judging, is breaking. So we have a calling. This is the initial impulse or will, and I think I got this from the internet. Initial impulse or will to bring something new into the world, and it explores what we are called to create and what needs to be let gone of, what we need to let go of, or needs to be changed in order to continue. Then we have creation. It's integral to existence, seen as something that is an emergence of something new, supported by a confluence of mind, thinking, meaning. Then we have formation, evolving process of creating the creative act, leading to a product that has emotional resonance, valuable meaning, and vitality impact. Making is the act or agency of the creative work as a practice of transformation. And reflexivity represents the space in which we look back on the creative process, exploring the impact of the change and plan for ongoing process of environment. And we can match this with the 4 worlds of Kabbalah. So, and then the one that is, and one from transcendent. So the reflexive one is transcending the whole process. So we have emanation, or the calling, really, which is called Atzilut in Kabbalah. Then we have creation, which is Bria. Then we have Yetzira, which is formation. And then we have Asiya, which is making. And another way to say this is letting things go. When something's calling you, you let go of what you're doing and you listen, right? Then we have making things, getting inspired. Actually, making means not just pushing it off for later, just in the idea. Getting inspired means actually prioritizing spiritual wellness, so that inspiration, the spirit, can rest with you. Happy, enough sleep, good food. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I'm working on it, to be honest. Following through. This is how we trust ourselves. This is how we get more energy. Giving value to the work. Like, what I do matters. Not only does it make me happy, but it makes me a more creative person, better to be around. I could be solution-oriented, not as harsh with people. It doesn't have to be my way. I'm not so close-minded. And also, I'm enjoying my life more and I'm pleasing my creator. Then I had a talk with somebody about money, and she was like a mentor, and she helped me a lot. And money's basically like a mother. My mother sees me as an extension. My mother couldn't rise to the occasion. I represent her failure. I didn't belong in that family, and I couldn't be the way that they wanted me to be. And I couldn't be undifferent. I don't have to be poor to get her help. I could be self-sufficient, and I don't depend on her. And I wrote this many years ago. I'm still integrating these messages. Teaching by example didn't help. Food and money were how my parents showed love, and care. And then they withheld it. I didn't feel loved or cared about. And I don't get special acknowledgments. Money loves me, and my mother's not going to rescue me. I'm attaching importance to symbols, but I don't have to hold myself back. I can create a loving home. I can give myself indulgence and being doted on, shelter, protection, security, throwing myself a birthday party. I can learn to be there for myself, stand up for myself, treat myself like I don't exist. Treating myself like I don't exist is where I myself have room to become someone new or to be hurt by it. And I'll learn about where I'm at in the process when I do this practice. Like, what if I wasn't here who I think I am? What if I could be someone new? And seeing how attached I am to myself, who I think I am, versus how hurt I might feel. Like, no, I need to matter to someone. So I could say it is painful and I can't do it anymore. You can't see or hear me for who I am. She can't relate to me. She didn't matter or think she was worthy to herself either, and she is defining and devaluing me based on her own limits. She has no self to connect to me, and she has to be whole to be authentic. And so my mother was kind of like a shell in those days. Unfortunately, my mother had a near-death experience of her own kind. She had an illness, and her whole entire lifestyle changed and her outlook, and she became much more conscious, and she's still growing in consciousness. And it's like, just takes a catalyst like that. We don't know why God does these things, but I could say that I'm witnessing my mother become authentic, whole, sincere, genuine, not as limited. My mother is not the same person anymore as who I just talked about on this paper. Thank God. Have a good night. Bye.